There was plenty of new tobacco research and varieties to talk about during this year's Florida-Georgia Tobacco Tour as growers were given an update on their industry. The Monitor's Damon Jones made the trip to South Georgia and tells us what advances have been made.
Whether it's the tomato spotted wilt virus or black shank, tobacco growers have plenty of things to worry about during planting season, and that's what makes the annual Georgia-Florida Tobacco Tour so important, as it keeps them up to date on the latest research.
The recommended products of Admire Pro and Actigard that are to give tomato spotted wilt virus suppression continue to give us about a 50% reduction compared to an untreated situation, and that enables our growers to have a better yield and better quality product.
Now, as good as the pesticides are, growers also need a little help from Mother Nature, as the right type of weather will enhance their efficiency.
If the tobacco gets planted, growing conditions are good, so it just grows on off, so that you're actually ready to pull the tops out like these. 9 weeks after planting, the treatments work much better than if the tobacco was stressed early and stopped growing for some reason, like too wet, too hot, too dry. In those cases, the treatments invariably don't seem to work quite as well.
Now, to help combat the problem, researchers are always looking for new and more efficient ways to treat the crop. And one unique way being tested is applying the pesticide very early in the planting process.
We have a insecticide that's applied in the transplant water, which is kind of unique, that we're able to do that and let the plant take it up systemically and give us tobacco budworm control. The company assures us that we get a 49-day control, or they'll help us to kill the tobacco budworms that occur.
And it's not just an update on the latest treatments, but also on the newest varieties. It's information very important for the growers as the industry constantly evolves.
10 years ago, K326 was 70% of the tobacco grown in Georgia. 10 years later, 326 is a novelty, and NC71, 72, and 297, those three hybrids, are 75% of the tobacco grown in Georgia. So whether people realize it or not, there is a pretty substantial changeover in varieties.
While Georgia might be the 6th largest tobacco producing state in the country, the amount of acres being planted has declined greatly over the past few years, down to 9,000 acres in 2012. However, that doesn't mean a sharp drop in production.
We have an outstanding tobacco crop in Georgia this year. It's again, tomato spotted wilt virus is not as bad as we had expected it because of the warm temperatures during the winter. We expected there'd be a plentiful number of thrips bringing virus from the weed population into the tobacco crop. Well, we have some transfer, and we have some tomato spotted wilt virus causing us some yield reductions, but it's not nearly as severe as we had expected.
And thanks to recent developments, specifically in the Asian market, growers remain optimistic about their future.
I think there's that opportunity specifically to market some overproduction to those folks, because they do have quite a good price list, a little higher than the other companies that we're contracted with. So we could see filling our contracts with our folks that we signed with, and then any overage might go to some folks that would send it to the Asian market.
For the Georgia Farm Monitor, I'm Damon Jones.